Cooks and food preparation workers held approximately 3 million jobs in 2011. A 9.4 increase is also expected from 2011 to 2021. A trained, skilled workforce is needed to fulfill those demands. The key word there is trained, skilled workforce. The total industry sales are projected to reach $604.2 billion, recorded high in 2011, a 3.6 increase over 2010. This is the first time that the sales topped over 600 billion. And as you can see over there by the graph, it's referenced to by the NRA 2011 Restaurant Industry Forecast Chart. The restaurant industry accounts for nearly half of the consumer food dollar in the US. There will be a long-term steady growth in the culinary industry, driven by consumer demands despite the economic challenges. Convenience, value, socialism. Job opportunities for chefs, cooks, and food preparation workers will continue to increase because of the total growth, continued growth, and expansion of food service. The American Culinary Federation, or as we say, ACF, has the resources to help a culinarian navigate through the ever-changing culinary industry as he or she plans his or her career. As a sidebar, ACF has helped me tremendously. I joined this organization in the early 1980s, 81, and it's developed and helped me grow with my profession through the network of chefs that I've had the ability to talk with and ask questions to help me. So it's a big value for us as chefs as we network. The ACF conducted a salary survey in 2008 through RedX Search, a nationally recognized independent research company, and the members speak for themselves. The numbers speak for themselves. ACF members receive $14,100 more a year than the average chef or head cook. How would you like to be making $14,000 more than the regular as a certified chef? Full-time employment rates for ACF members are higher than those in the US general population. A certified executive chef and certified executive pastry chef earn $10,900 more a year than an ACF non-certified chef. ACF, as is mentioned, is the largest professional chefs organization in North America. I just came from Vancouver, Canada, where the Canadian Federation of Chefs had their national convention. Their membership is 1/10 of what our membership is. ACF has been advancing the value of the culinary profession for 82 years. ACF is known as the authority on cooking in America. The ACF offers culinary networking opportunities with more than 20,000 members, chefs, cooks, food service executives, and 225 chapters in 4 regions across the United States. ACF affords culinarians of all ages, skill levels, and specialties the opportunity to further their career. ACF provides accredited education programs, certification, competition, networking designed to enhance professional growth for all current and future chefs. ACF brings together those who love food, those who are passionate, professional culinarians looking to build skills and a strong resume. Food service corporations wanting to develop contacts. Avid foodies who embrace the culinary culture. We have 10 categories of membership, each tailored to meet a culinary and professional development needs. All the way from a junior culinarian from high school, all the way up to a professional chef, a retired chef, associate members, property members, and military. The ACF provides professional development opportunities through continuing education to enhance knowledge and skills directly related to the culinary occupation. ACF provides access to scholarship opportunities for culinary students and chefs seeking to further their education. The ACFEF, or the American Culinary Federation Educational Foundation, is the educational foundation arm of the American Culinary Federation. An educational program with quality programs recognized, meets a high standards, sets a high standards, provides quality training in culinary professionals, students, and food enthusiasts. Quality programs are renewed annually to ensure standards are being upheld. And look at this, all Job Corps centers have national quality programs recognition. Upon completion of the Job Corps Culinary Arts program, each student receives a Student Competency Achievement certified with the ACF-EF logo on it. And you'll see that logo, that certificate over on the your far right. With thousands of chefs competing in the job market, it is essential to prove culinary competency. ACF certification does that. Affirms competency and expertise to employers and industry, demonstrates skills, knowledge, and professionalism in the food service industry. ACF is the only comprehensive certification program for chefs in the U.S. More than 11,000 chefs are certified by ACF. Certification increased by 9.5% in 2010. Certification is based on education, work experience, and testing. ACF offers 14 certification designations, each with specific qualifications. Certification is available for cooking professionals, personal cooking professionals, baking and pastry professionals, culinary administrators, and culinary educators. This is a slide that shows you the levels, the different categories and all the certification levels you can get below. This slide represents the progression of certification, arrows indicating starting point. Each level is not required to achieve the next level. So what is the process? Determine eligibility based on educational experience. That's number one. Step 2, complete and submit initial pre-approval application. Step 3, pass the required certification exam. A written exam tests culinary knowledge. And the practical exam evaluates skill proficiency. And step 4, submit your application. The ACF also has an apprenticeship program. It's the only culinary apprenticeship program recognized by the U.S. Department of Labor. Combines an on-job training and classroom instructions. Culinary art experience is gained from an ACF qualified chef or mentor while receiving hands-on training in the kitchen. Its nationally recognized credentials are acquired on the competency of the program. As ACF has numerous resources to assist culinarians in staying informed about the industry, Sizzle Magazine, the American Culinary Federation Quarterly for Students of Cooking. You go on www.acfchefs.org, our ACF website, and also for Culinary Competitions. As you can see here, this is our spring edition of the Sizzle Magazine that just came out about a month and a half ago. Job Corps programs have access to a free digital subscription of Sizzle, ACF's award-winning magazine published quarterly. Only magazines in the U.S. exclusively for culinary, baking, and pastry students. Sizzle's articles focus on emerging job trends, mentoring, continuing education, culinary trends, product application, scholarship information, culinary and pastry techniques. Sizzle is available for a free download on the ACF website at www.acfchefs.org/sizzle. ACF website has a wealth of resource. We have video libraries, Sustainable Corner, Culinary Nutrition News, Ingredient of the Month, and Career Center. In the video libraries, we feature the latest trends and techniques in the industry. Topics include fabrication of veal, lamb, and fish, knife skills, baking fundamentals, building savory flavors, and butchery. In our Sustainable Corner, as you see on the website, free resources for articles, links, and ideas relating to sustainability. Learn how ACF accredited post-secondary and secondary programs are promoting sustainability. Building a library of sustainable practices and ideas. And our culinary nutrition, as you see the webpage there, the homepage of that. Free monthly nutrition articles provided through the partnership between ACF, EF, Chef and Child Foundation, and the Clemson University. Topics pinpoint information chefs need to offer healthier food and positively impact the healthy consumer. Archive issues are available, and it's downloadable on the first Monday of every month. I mentioned about the ingredient of the month. Free downloadable guides featuring a new nutritional ingredient for the chefs to incorporate in their menus. Provides an in-depth look at the latest in nutrition ingredients. Archives issues available and is downloaded on the 15th of each month. Then the career centers, which most of you may be more interested in. ACF Online Career Center connects culinarians with all professional levels with the latest available culinary position. Post an anonymous resume. Search jobs by types or location. Create a job alert for email notification for matching positions. Establish job seeker account to job search, manage resume, set up job alerts, and view job offers. Then competitions, just like what you're here for today. This week, you've had some competitions. Opportunity to hone your culinary skills through the competition. Students and faculty may compete, watch, or host the competition. ACF sanctions over 100 culinary competitions annually in numerous categories. And of course, we have a list of upcoming ACF sanctioned competition that is available on the website. So it's up to you and with your future, how you take control. I'd like to share with you how I became successful. I was one of you many years ago. I came to the United States with my family. My father being a physician, my mother being a musician, and immigrated to the Northeast corridor where I went to school. And we were the only Asian family in the community. And moving twice in 2 years, made it challenging. Because once you get to learn friends and all that stuff. So I started off, I guess, slow. My parents believed in education, which everyone should. My father and mother didn't care what profession I took as long as I went to school. My junior year in high school, I took an aptitude test. It was compulsory back there in New York State. And the following year, after the summer, guidance counselor called you in the office and said to me, "We're going to review your aptitude test." I says, "Okay." So they said, "Your aptitude test shows you that your strengths are a banker." I was high school, senior. I said, "Banker? Behind a counter? In a suit and tie? That's not what I want to do." But my numbers, based on my aptitude tests, were very strong and suggested I go that route. So I said, "What does the aptitude test say my next strength is?" She said, "Home economics." Now, back in the 70s, home economics was with the future homemakers of America. And I said to myself, I don't know if I want to get stuck with all those ladies. That was 40-some years ago, but today I know that may be changing. And my guidance counselor says, "No, home economics is more than just that. Home economics is culinary arts." So it intrigued me, because when I came home from school, I used to go and seek refuge in my mother's kitchen because I didn't know the community kids well enough. And I used to love to cook with her. And she taught me a lot. But that was home cooking. So based on that, I says, let's go for it. Let me try. Applied for 3 schools. The SUNY School, State University of New York School, in upstate New York. I landed in Cobleskill, New York. The school that I wanted to go to was called Kenton. And when I went to go do the visit, okay, in the middle of the winter, I looked up at that high snowbanks, about 15 feet, and I says, I don't want to be here in the middle of the winter. So I went to Cobleskill, and they were the best years of my life. Not because I partied, which I did, okay, but you're there to go to school. And it's what you put in and take that is important. Whether you're paying for your education, or whether you're getting it free, or you're mentoring, it's an opportunity for each and every one of you to go to your mentor, your instructor, whomever is there to help you, and be like a sponge. Because that's what I was. And that's what everyone should aspire to do. After graduating from SUNY Cobleskill, I went out in the profession. I worked at Howard Johnson's. No longer in existence, maybe a couple still out there straggling. But I went to go work for Hojo's. They were known for Hojo's. And those of you that are old like me, you know, will remember those places. And they were good. It was a good restaurant, famous for their ice cream. I worked for them. Then continued to work on with the same company in their family restaurant division. Then I had an aunt from Las Vegas that came out and said, "Michael, you're working too hard. You're working long hours. I can do better for you. I know someone in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace, and he'll give you a sous chef's job. That was October of 1974. I said to my son, it says, thank you. I'm comfortable here at home. I have no bills to pay, no rent, and I had a good job. 7 months later, she called me on the phone. The company that I worked for got sold first of the year. Management changed. Things began to deteriorate. I was promised my raise and never got it. So in May of 1975, I went up to my boss and I said to him, what happened about the raise that I promised? You had promised me that if I had attained all these goals that you wanted me to. And he says, can't give it to you. I said to him, okay, thank you. The next day, send him my 2 weeks notice. A week later, I call him and says, when are you going to bring my replacement? And he says, you're joking. I says, no, I'm not. Those of you that are familiar with New York State, there was a little town called Oneida, New York, all the way in Syracuse, by the Syracuse area. Where I worked was between Elmira and Binghamton. On a normal day, it's about 3.5 hour drive. He made it in 2. And he tried to talk me out, but my mind was set and ready to go to Las Vegas. I traveled 2,000 plus miles across to the country with all my worldly belongings. My aunt had promised me the world, but when I got there, it didn't materialize. She had told me that the guy that had promised said, you have to go through a union. And consequently, I didn't belong to a union prior before that. But she said, I have someone in the union that will give you an interview. So I interviewed with the Secretary-Treasurer of the union. I understand a very powerful union at the time, and still is, currently with 52,000 members just in Las Vegas. At the time that I was there, it was about 20,000 members. Had an interview, and everything was going great. Secretary-Treasurer said, man, you have good credentials. You should be one of my sous chefs here in the whole town. I says, yeah. He said to me, what local do you belong to? Now understand, upstate New York, living in a small community of maybe 5,000, I didn't know what a local was. He says, sir, what's a local? He says, a union. Said to him, where I come from, we didn't eat unions in the kitchen. Obviously, my interview went downhill. From sous chef, I wasn't worthy of even the pot washing. But because he knew his secretary knew my aunt, he says, I'll get you a job, and called the job dispatch office. My job there was the lowest position in the kitchen brigade, which was a kitchen runner at Caesar's Palace. But that didn't stop me, ladies and gentlemen, from trying to attain my goal. I said to myself, get my foot in the door, work hard, show them what I can do, union or no union, get an interview with the executive chef, give him my resume, and go from there. That was 1975. What 3 runners did in 8 hours, I did that in 2 hours. My fellow kitchen runner says, "You gotta slow down. You're making us look bad." I turned around and said to him, I says, "I'm not gonna be a runner for the rest of my life. My qualifications, my culinary background is more than being a runner." In the off time when I got all my work done, went into the pantry, went into the butcher shop, went into the main kitchen. Imagine Caesar's Palace back in the 70s was the premier resort, not just in Las Vegas, but potentially in the world. Had a lot of good chefs there, great chefs, and great opportunity there. Went up to the line, worked with the cooks. We used to pump out 3,000 breakfasts every morning in the restaurant. And I would get up there and help. And that really wasn't my responsibility. And probably one of the best eggmen, if I recall, his name's Clint. A military guy that went to second career in cooking. Black gentleman, probably the best eggman that I've worked side by side with. He said, "Son, what are you trying to prove?" And I said to him, "Same thing. I'm not going to be a runner all my life. As a matter of fact, sir, my goal is to be the executive chef of this property one day." He burst out and laughed to the rest of the cooks. Said, "You hear this boy? He wants to be our boss one day. He wants to be the executive chef." And all of them laughed. 3 weeks later, I got offered a job in one of the gourmet restaurants. And that's where my climb up the ladder went through until 1978. I became the assistant executive chef at Caesars. 1982, became the executive chef at Caesars Palace. At age 29, I was the youngest executive chef at a major resort in Las Vegas and the first non-European executive chef. Why do I say that? Because each and every one of you have that opportunity. It is for you for the taking. If you don't want it bad enough, you're not going to attain it. And I worked hard. I had a sous chef. By the way, I went back to when I became executive chef, I went back to the egg cook. And I knew he loved to smoke cigars. And, and I got cigars. I says, "Clint, remember the story you told me and said that you laughed? I would like you to celebrate by smoking a cigar." I don't smoke cigars. But I gave it to him, and he smiled. He was one of my best cooks. He kept everyone in line, didn't have to worry about anything. And those are the good people when I say skilled and trained. That's what we're looking for. One of my chefs, French chef, as I was moving up the ranks, he was a great chef. I was going to school to take my bachelor's degree at UNLV. One day I come in, my shift is 3:30 to 11:30. Come at 2 o'clock, and he's screaming and yelling at me. "Why are you here so late?" I said, "Chef, I don't start to work till 3:30. Now, back in those days, the chefs had privileges in drinking, And so it was one of those rough days for him, And he said to me, I was at school. I'm trying to get my degree. And he pounded his chest and said to me, "You want to learn, you come here every day when I get in here, and I'll teach you everything you need to know." And I says, "Okay, chef, let me finish my semester out." And I was working with him stride by stride. He was one of my mentors. And that's what each and every one of you need to look at. You have to have mentors. I have had mentors in my career ladder all the way through even to today. I have a mentor because I look for my financial situation, what I'm going to do when I retire in 10, 15 years from now. I have mentors that come and help me advise. Even as president of the American Culinary Federation, I look up at people. Each and every one of you should have mentors and go through your life changing them, keeping them, maintaining them. Those are important for you, at least it was for me. I will say to you that I regretted going to finish my bachelor's degree, and in about 11 years ago I went back to go try to find it, but as I got busier, it got more difficult to attain a bachelor's degree. I have the credits, it's just that the school won't accept some of my culinary arts courses that I took. Anyway, I ask you to take advantage of your future. You know, in 1993, 1994, another milestone in my life was being the national president of the American Culinary Federation. It was a one-year presidency, again breaking that barrier. First Asian national president. After my 1 year as, go ahead. After my 1 year of presidency, I just felt a void in my life. I worked so hard, and we started things going, okay, that I maintained my involvement with the national organization. And you all should be part of any organization that you want, whether it's the State Restaurant Association, whether it's a local ACF chapter, or any group that you want to be, you should be active. Because it gives you social skills, it gives you the opportunity to network. You know, I belong to Toastmasters. I met some good people. That's learning how to speak, okay? And although I'm still working on that, I met some people there that have helped me in some of my financial lives too. So being able to network is very important because it's just not in your profession. You try to learn other things outside of your profession. So about 3 years ago, I made a decision to rerun for national president. And it was my goal because if I was going to make a difference for our organization, I would have to go in and do it myself, along, of course, with the board of directors. You know, as many of you have already met, Chef Tillinghast up there. Chef, would you please stand up? Is your Northeast Right Regional Vice President? Chef and I ran 3 years ago, and we were successful. And just recently, as a matter of fact, a week ago, tomorrow, we have been re-elected for a second term as a We have a lot of things to accomplish, but we need your help. We need your help. We need your ideas. We need what you feel that we need to do for you to help you guys out. That's what the ACF can do for you. These are some of the benefits I mentioned to you, as I said, of ACF. Because of our affiliation, our association. Just imagine,